NCR Voyix is a retail, restaurant, and banking technology company headquartered in Atlanta, Georgia. As a big global company, when we come to work each day, we see new names in our inboxes, we share elevators with other employees, and we pass by each other in the hallway. But just who are these people exactly? Many of us are colleagues, yet strangers. Let's take a minute to sit down and learn a little bit more about each other as people. Hello, everyone, and welcome to Not Just a Quick Look. I'm your host, Jenny Reinick. I work in marketing at NCR Voyix. I'm here today to highlight an amazing NCR Voyix employee, Susan Pina. Welcome to the show, Susan.
Hello, thank you.
So to start off, telling us a little bit more about yourself, can you share where you are in the organization? So what's your title, what department do you work in, and who do you roll up to?
Okay, sure. So Susan Pina, I've been at NCR Voyix for 14 years. I'm in the retail organization. I'm the chief of staff to the retail president, to Eric Schock. And chief of staff is a variety of activities, but I'd sort of say it's special projects and then supporting the Eric and the LT for various initiatives, presentations, all that good stuff.
Cool. So how did you initially find your job here at NCR Voyix?
How did I find my job? So actually I came here in 2009 when the company announced the move from Dayton to Atlanta to move the headquarters, even though there was already a presence here. And so at the time I had been working for a startup that was had been acquired and was dissolving, and so it was a perfect opportunity for me. I had a software background and including QA, and they were looking for a QA manager for the advanced store team. So shout out to Advanced Store. That's where I started, was in the development organization for quality assurance.
Cool.
Yep.
So where are you from originally?
We're from like my hometown, so I would say Memphis, Tennessee. We also have strong ties to Nashville, but I'm from Memphis. Went to high school there, and then, but I've lived in Atlanta more of my adult life now than because I did go to Georgia Tech.
Yes.
And so I went back to Memphis right after Georgia Tech and worked for a company called FedEx that you probably heard of.
Yes.
And started there, and then ended up coming back to Atlanta to work for Delta.
Oh, cool. Okay.
Yes.
And what did you study in school?
But I studied in school, industrial engineering, industrial and systems engineering.
And do you feel like you use what you studied in school in your day-to-day job?
I do. I mean, IE is a really broad major with a lot of like analytical thinking. They used to always say, we're teaching you how to think. And so that problem solving and that way of thinking is really can apply to anything you do. And so, yeah, for software and for the business processes and strategic projects that I work on, yeah, I can definitely apply it.
Getting that degree worth.
Yes, yes, exactly. And they used to say, for all my IEs out there, they used to call us imaginary engineers because we took some business classes.
Right.
But, you know,
Awesome.
that's okay. Business classes also are really helpful to the career.
Yes. And if you had to explain to, for example, your 10-year-old niece or nephew what you do for work, how would you describe it?
Oh, gosh. That is a good question. You're throwing me with the 10-year-old piece, although they're very savvy and know technology really well. So I could say I do a lot of reporting on our key metrics, key things that help our leaders know how the business is doing. And I work in presentations and communication, and also project management is what I would say to a 10-year-old, but it's really more program management for like cross-functional activities.
Cool. Good job.
But I'm not sure if a 10-year-old would understand what I just said. Yeah.
I understood it.
Okay.
And I kind of live my life like a 10-year-old, so that's okay.
Okay, good.
How do you connect with other people in the company? So not just your direct team, but other people at NCR Voyix through your job?
Oh, gosh, all the time. I'm in a lot of different meetings, and I've done so many different roles at NCR. I feel like I've had like 5 careers within my time here. So that definitely has helped a lot. So even though we've had people, in and out of the company, there's still, I still know people from every role. And so that's helped a lot. And then I'll see them, when I'm here at headquarters at Fun Thursday or just, walking around for lunch. So yeah, making those connections is very important, and keeping those relationships is very important, because then there's just that trust factor. There's the, people know that if I need something, they want to help me because I've helped them in the past or whatever. And so yeah, did I answer your question?
Yeah, definitely.
Okay.
So like you you have met various people throughout all the different roles you've had here.
Right.
Have there been times where you have reached out to people that you knew from a different role to help you with something that you're currently working on?
Oh, sure. All the time. All the time.
Yeah, it's helpful to know all those different departments.
Yeah. So I can just sometimes go straight to it. So again, like a lot of what I do is our executive presentations or metric reporting. And so sometimes we need something quick, and it's, I'm like, oh, I know who in Advanced Store to go ask that to. Or we had a reporter reach out recently, wanted to interview Eric without a lot of notice on CFR trends. And so I knew people that I could just immediately go to and say, okay, help me think through this. And we could quickly come up with some bullet points, for Eric. That, I could have gotten the old-fashioned way and gone through the hierarchy and the chain, but I didn't need to, because I knew people and they could respond. I kind of sort through teams for who's maybe green for available.
Right. And you go right to the source.
And then I go right to them.
Cool. What is your favorite thing about working at NCR Voyix?
Oh, my favorite thing. It really is the people and the relationships. And just, it sounds cliche, but, I get satisfaction getting things done. And so we have a lot of challenges, but I believe in what we're doing. I believe in our strategy. I believe in our customer first focus. And a lot of that ties back to my first job when I mentioned FedEx. FedEx always put the customer first. And there would always be a lot of employee training and talking about every package matters. It goes back to, Castaway. Remember that movie?
Yes.
Yeah, that truly was like FedEx in a nutshell, about like every package matters. And so that really was formed such an impression on me that I've taken to every job. Is that customer first.
Yes.
And so yeah, it's nice to see, even though we have plenty of things to do, it's nice to see the progress and strides that we've made.
Yes.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. So what would you say you are most excited about when it comes to the future of the company?
For the future of the company, I really am excited about the platform and our software and services focus, which still, needs hardware. So it's all still very important. Because too, again, some of that goes back to my early days. I worked on the FedEx website where we exposed the tracking API. I worked at Delta. I worked on Delta.com on the website. And so I feel like I've kind of come full circle now, coming back to a platform and an open architecture and exposing the APIs so that a retailer can do more in the cloud, and that it is so much easier to manage your software when it's residing in the cloud. And I'm really excited about our Edge strategy and our Edge software. I helped with the Zinstra acquisition, so that software-defined store team, and now that's the Edge strategy. It is super critical, and it's proven for how to really help a retailer manage their store like a digital channel. You can manage your store like a website. But it still means there's redundancy down at the store level. Like, it really is purpose built for retail. And to me, it's our secret sauce and our secret weapon. It's not the easiest thing to explain because, and there's also plenty of other people who maybe use that wording to mean something different, and so we have to clarify. But I'm probably most excited about that, about Edge. Yeah.
Do you think we do a good job of differentiating from our competitors when we talk about Edge?
We are trying.
Yeah.
Yes, I think we've just recently had a really good webinar with other industry leaders as well, because that helps, right? The customers need to hear from others outside to reinforce that. Yep, what we've got is real. It's good. It's proven. So yeah, we're trying, but it's a constant, communication and initiative.
Right.
Yeah.
Do you find that using like case studies and examples of customers, is that a helpful way of explaining Edge?
Oh, for sure. For sure. We definitely have to do that. And then when we can get customer references and the customer speaks on our behalf, that's huge.
That's a win.
Yeah. Yeah.
Cool. What do you like to do for fun outside of work?
Oh, what do I like to do for fun? So I have been married for 28 years, and we have 3 children, but now we're empty nesters.
Oh,
so
okay.
we're getting our life back and figuring out,
Yes.
what that means. So one child lives in California, and so we go visit her some. We love to travel, and we're foodies too. So. And I'm just like a capital E extrovert, so I just like to go out and be social.
Yes.
And then I like to catch up with girlfriends on long walks. I'm debating about getting back into tennis or maybe pickleball, but I used to play tennis a lot more, so I'm still figuring out that part of it. But yeah, I guess I'd say family, friends, travel.
It sounds very fulfilling.
Yes.
So someone on my team has a pickleball club.
Oh, yeah?
Because she got into pickleball and then felt like it was too competitive. Like everyone was taking it way too seriously. And she was like, I do this for fun.
Yeah.
So she called it Pickleball Social Club.
Okay.
And she got a bunch of other NCR Voyix team members involved. So if you're interested in taking up pickleball,
okay. Yeah, let me know.
You have a connection.
Let me know.
At the company.
Yeah, because I'll be honest, that's part of when I stopped doing tennis was it took up the whole Sunday afternoon and it got a little too competitive where I was like, ladies, we're
here to have fun.
We're playing tennis. Let's not get so worked up about the line call. Yeah.
Right, exactly. Cool. Well, what advice would you give to a younger person who's just starting out in their career?
It's a great question. So I would say definitely be open to new opportunities. Be ready for change, because that's about one of the definites that we can count on is change. And focus on what you can control and accomplish versus necessarily everything that's going on around you. Quotes you've heard before, but you can't hear them enough. Comparison is the thief of joy. Just reduce don't be tempted to compare yourself. Just like with what we tell our kids on social media, you see something and then you have FOMO, or then you think that somebody's having a better time or has a better job title than you do. Just don't worry about that stuff, and focus on what you can control, what you can accomplish, and what you enjoy doing. And nothing is ever permanent.
Right.
I'm doing the Win Mentor program, and I was just talking to my mentee about that. It's like, you know what? If you want to take a chance on something, do it. And also what I tell my kids, when you are making a decision, think about what you might regret more. Like, try to fast forward in the situation and look back and be like, are you going to be more upset that you didn't try it, or you're glad you didn't? Try to go ahead and think through those scenarios and think about it. But also, no matter what, nothing's permanent.
Right.
So,
change is constant, as you led with.
Yes,
so.
Yes, exactly.
If you're not happy, don't worry, it'll change.
Right, exactly.
And if you are happy, it might change for the better.
It might change anyway. Yeah, I mean, so much of my career, and especially my time at NCR, it wasn't necessarily planned. But I get tapped to, hey, Susan, can you come help us over here? Can you do that? And it's always worked out, Right. Not that you can't have your own strategy, but it also can work out too. And there's some timing, there's some luck. I started my career in software, but that is not what I thought I was going to do when I graduated.
Right.
I mean, the internet was just getting started.
Right.
So
you never could have predicted.
I never could have predicted
what you would be doing now.
And literally, there was some luck there, because I end up in a meeting with the FedEx CEO to explain the World Wide Web, because I was one of their new hires who knew what it was.
Right.
Like, true story. And so, and that just put me on this trajectory of all this, internet work and platform work that was just timing. I can't say it was some strategic plan I set out myself.
Right, exactly. And now I have interns coming and they explain TikTok to me, because I don't know. Yeah. And it all the cycle continues.
It does.
The younger generations teaching us what is trendy and popular.
Yeah.
And what's going to change.
So, technology changes so fast. And so you just always feel this panic, like you have to keep up, and which you do. But then also the fundamentals, it still goes back to the basics of human relationships, good project planning, stay focused. I'm a big believer in Agile. So the advanced store team, we brought Agile into NCR. We were the first teams who did it. And breaking down your work into manageable pieces and locking off on a plan and stacking hands, this is what we're doing for the next 2 weeks, and then we're going to demo it, and then we're going to go again. That applies to everything. You really could have that mindset for all your projects.
Right.
I'm a big believer in that.
Inside and outside of work.
Yes, yes.
Very helpful.
When my kids were little, we had little, like, sticky notes and a scrum board, a Kanban board, like
to get all the chores done around
the house. To get the chores done, yes, and they can move it to done, and it's very satisfying.
Yes,
yeah.
exactly.
My husband didn't do it, but oh well.
Well, you tried.
Yeah.
Cool. Well, Susan, it was great to learn a little bit more about you, and thank you so much for joining us today.
Sure. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, no problem. Not Just a Quick Look is a production of NCR Voyix Corporation. Thank you to Linton Felix, Duval Johnson, and the staff of Bell Studios for production and editing help. Thank you to all of our NCR Voyix employees who have participated as a guest on the show. Our cover art is by Ariana Cole. Our website is ncrvoyix.com, ncrvoyix.com. Any opinions stated in Not Just a Quick Look are those of the podcast guest and/or host, not NCR Voyix Corporation. Subscribe to our show to get updates about new episodes. Thank you for listening to Not Just a Quick Look, available wherever you get your podcast. Copyright NCR Voyix Corporation 2024, all rights reserved.